Welcome. Welcome to Money Chat Now, and we are brought to you by Investor Schooling. Hey, you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today we're going to be discussing some really cool stuff. First of all, we're going to be discussing the Robinhood IPO. This is powerful stuff. I want to talk about this. This is kind of cool. This is a different kind of IPO, and when we get there, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that. We also saw that the Nikola founder, Trevor Milton, was indicted. Ooh. We'll also be discussing today's notable earnings, such as Amazon, T-Mobile, Merck, AstraZeneca, and Twilio. So let's get into it, man. Let's go. All right, here we go. Robinhood. First of all, Robinhood, what an incredible, what an incredible success story. Here's a guy who comes up with a product who says, hey, we've got all these people out there that want to invest in the stock market. They're all junior people. They don't know how to do this. Let's give them an app that they can do it. So they come up with this thing and they call it Robinhood. I love the fact that they called it Robinhood because it turns into, as you know the story, it turns into all these retail traders trying to, I shouldn't say they really were trying to manipulate the stock market, but they literally robbed from the rich and gave to the poor, which is kind of a funny, just a funny scenario that's how it happened. However, here's the deal. They sold 52.4 million shares today, and basically the stock had been sitting there, and the stock was sitting there right around 35-ish earlier today. It opened up at 38, and I'm going to tell you something about how I feel about this. Now, normally, when a new company goes public, if Coinbase was a perfect example, Coinbase shot into the 400s. Even Facebook, when it went public, it hit 42 when it went public, and then it shot down all the way down to 15. And normally, I would say, if you're going to buy a stock like Robinhood or a stock like Coinbase or a stock like Facebook when it first opened, I would normally say to wait and wait. However, here's an interesting scenario with Robinhood. I think that for the first time, I've actually seen an IPO open up at the right price. So it may actually be a really good play. I'm going to even recommend it as a stock if you think that if you want to have the stock, I think it'll be a really great stock for you to have. So go for it. Buy it. I think it's a great stock. Put it in your portfolio. I bought 100 shares of it today because I'm expecting when the options come out that I'm expecting to sell covered calls on it. So I actually bought it. I think it's a great play. Now here's something interesting about that as well. Most IPOs, actually almost all IPOs, the people who own it, the employees of the company, aren't allowed to sell it right away. They're not allowed to sell it. They have to hold on to it. And because, of course, if they sell it, what happens is the market gets flooded with the stock, and the stock either goes down or goes up based on the employees selling it. But the employees are allowed to sell 15% of their shares right away. And it's even possible that that's part of why it went down a couple of points today. But it only went down like 2 points. It was nothing. It wasn't even a 10% drop, or just barely a 10% drop. They're also allowed to sell after 3 months another 15%. So this is a very unusual IPO, and I actually believe that this company has a lot of legs. I think that, again, they're making money on every single transaction, just like Coinbase. We talked about Coinbase the other day. Coinbase is making all their money on every transaction in crypto. And sure enough, when crypto goes down, people buy crypto. When crypto goes up, people buy crypto. It doesn't matter. Coinbase is going to make their money. It's the same thing with Robinhood. When the stock market is going down, people are buying stocks. When the stock market is going up, people are buying stocks. Now, the other thing that's nice about Robinhood is Robinhood has a following. It's almost like, you don't really find out about Robinhood by going to your broker, obviously. You find out about Robinhood from your friend who bought some Facebook stock and, well, look at all this money I made. Oh, my goodness. You should download the Robinhood app. And that's why Robinhood, I'm telling you right now, Robinhood's going to kill it. It's going to be a killer stock. My prediction is probably within 6 months, this thing will be at 75 to 90. So, again, a great play. I'm all for it. I think it's fantastic. Hey, look at this. Let's go right to the breaking news. Amazon posts third 100 billion quarter in a row, but of course, mixed expectations. Okay, I don't know how anybody can say that if they do 100 billion in a quarter, they missed expectations. But I get it. I understand. But you've got a company that's so huge that they did 100 billion in a quarter, and they missed expectations. What? Huh? What? Huh? Well, of course, the stock is dropping. It's down about 170 points right now. and that's just the way it is. Again, we predicted Facebook was going to drop yesterday. Sure enough, it dropped 15 points today, and the reason for that is once again guidance. Facebook said that of course that they can't get new users. Everybody on the planet already has Facebook, but I don't believe that's a problem. I actually believe Facebook. If you're going to go into Facebook right now, and just to bring it up while we're here, if you go into Facebook right now, you're going to see that Facebook is definitely going to be a stock that's going to be a long-term play. I've said this before. I've been saying it since it was below 100. It's a super long-term play. Just put it in a drawer somewhere, hold on to it, and just keep going. It's a great play. All right, so here we go. Let's talk a little bit about one of my other favorite stocks. I want to go over to some of the other earnings in a second, but I want to go over to one of my other favorite stocks, and one of my other favorite stocks happens to be Apple. And we talked about Apple the last couple of days, and what happened when it hit earnings was it had a bad guidance, and basically the bad guidance said what? They said that they're going to run into a chip manufacturing problem, which is total crap. I mean, stop it. We're not going to have a chip manufacturing problem for Apple. Apple's going to be fine. In fact, once again, Apple is one of those stocks that doesn't need to sell another iPhone ever, and they're going to do fine. They're going to be absolutely fine. They make more money off extorting their users by selling them every single thing under the planet, every single app under the planet, and more storage space. So they're going to be fine. I actually believe that Apple will probably be in the 170s, 180s by the end of the year. If you want to play that, I'd be encouraging it. However, for a stock options trader like me, I want to see it below 140, and I want to grab it, and I want to run it right up to 148, 149, and take it away. And that's going to be an awesome play for me. So if you guys are fans of Nikola stock, and it's funny because we talked about the Robinhood situation a little while ago, Nikola was one of the Robinhood stocks. And basically what happened was, Nikola, they made all these promises. We had what's his name, Trevor Milton, made all these promises, and he basically lied or actually exaggerated. All right, I mean, I'm not on the jury. I know he was indicted today. We're going to talk about that. I'm not on the jury. But again, he absolutely exaggerated the company and what it's going to do. So because he exaggerated, the stock ran up as high as 90 at one point. But did it really run up as high as 90 because of the exaggeration, or did it run up because of what? Because of Robinhood. All right. Tell you what, guys, we're going to be back in 1 minute, and I'm going to tell you the rest of the story about Nikola stock.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and we were just talking about Nikola, and we were talking about how somebody can manipulate the stock market and make Nikola move. So here's an interesting story. I find this to be fascinating. So if you guys were following this stock back in September, you knew that back in September there was an article, a blog, whatever you want to call it, and it was entitled Nikola: How to Parlay an Ocean of Lies into a Partnership with the Largest Auto OEM in America. And this was basically all about their partnership with GM. But I have to tell you, one of the things that kind of bothered me about this is, first of all, the people who wrote this article were writing this article and talking about what happened to Nikola, but they're talking about this and they're saying that this guy was frauding the company and the partnership with GM shouldn't happen because GM shouldn't be paying attention to these people, and I don't get it. I can't even understand how they were allowed to manipulate this when literally the guy who wrote the article has a company that sells stock short. So he literally manipulated the company into going back down. It's the oddest thing that why isn't he also being arrested for manipulating the company down? But that's how the stock market works. The stock market does its own thing, and it always, and as I've said many, many times to some of the students in investor schooling, I say it all the time, it's hysterical. What happens is you've heard this story, you've heard the, fake news, you've heard the expression fake news. Fake news, I believe, started in the stock market. All right, let's see if we're going to go to some of these other great plays right now. Let's see what's going on. Did T-Mobile hit yet? Did the earnings come up yet? I don't know yet. Let's talk about that in a second. T-Mobile's earnings still haven't been announced yet, so we're not there yet. Amazon, as we know, has already been announced, and that was fantastic. I like the fact that Amazon's earnings weren't perfect, but they did enough to do what they need to do. All right, let's go back over here. Let me just see real quickly if I can find T-Mobile. So T-Mobile's earnings have not been released. Not been released yet. And how about let's go over to another one of my favorites. Let's go over to Merck and see if their earnings have been released yet. I'm going to say no because the stock is just sitting there. So to me, if you guys ever hear me talk about this, earnings season to me is the Super Bowl. I'll sit here and I'll watch earnings just like people watch the Super Bowl game, because to me it's a lot of fun to watch these companies do what they're supposed to do and make the money when they're supposed to make it, or not make the money when they're supposed to make it. Plus, I'm trying to guess what's going to happen. I'm going to try to guess, hey, is this company going to do what they're supposed to make this money, or they're not going to make money? Are they going to make money or not going to make money? And I try to guess. And I try to guess whether the stock is going to go down or go up. Now, Facebook, just real quick, we don't need to change the chart, but in Facebook, real quick, I was talking about this the other day. When Facebook went down 15 points yesterday, I actually just thought about buying a put on Facebook, but the put was $9 for the end of the week. And if it didn't go down $9, I would have lost the money. So the interesting part was I didn't buy it, but the reason I didn't buy it because I didn't think it was worthy play. That's all. That's what kept me out of it. Okay. So, real quick, let's see what else we got over here. If there's another one to look at, let's take a look at Twilio, see if Twilio hit yet. Twilio something must have happened because they're down 9 points, so let's talk about what happened. So I don't know if you guys know about Twilio, but Twilio has a lot of applications that have to do with the internet, and that's what they do. They're basically a cloud application, and they also do things like text messaging. I've had some programs that I've used from them before, but clearly they're down 10 points. So I'm going to say that they had an issue, but we don't have it yet. I don't have the answer yet. Let's going to see. There's no answer yet. They're down 11 points. So again, I'm going to say that they missed. I'm going to have to say they missed. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to say that they missed. Let's see if we can get this over here real quick. I do not see it yet. All right, that's fine. Usually you can get a quick shot of it, but most likely the news feeds are so busy on the other ones that they're not talking about it. But my guess is Twilio missed, again, only because of the fact that the stock's down so much. All right. So today, as you saw, the stock market did pretty well. We had a stock market that was up 153 points. The S&P was up 18 points, and the Nasdaq was up 15 points. Now, of course, when the Nasdaq's up 15 points, it means that all my tech stocks are sitting there. But I'm going to call out some stocks. I'm going to call out some stocks when we come back from the commercial, which we're going to go to in a couple of minutes. I'm going to call out some stocks that I think you should absolutely be in. By the way, T-Mobile, when we talked about this, T-Mobile actually just came out. T-Mobile actually beat their numbers by a lot. So I'm actually surprised that T-Mobile is only up 97 cents. They beat by a lot. So why are they up? Why are they not flying right now? I don't know, but it's typical. This is a typical story of every single stock, is they don't move the way you expect them to move. They only move a little bit. But this might be a good play for the future, once again. All right. Ooh, you know what? Pinterest. I didn't realize that Pinterest had earnings today. I didn't look it up, but Pinterest is in trouble. Pinterest has just dropped 10 points today because they missed on user growth expectations. Which, by the way, that should have been a clue. Yesterday, when Facebook said that, we should have known that clue that Pinterest was going to go down. But since I wasn't paying attention to it, I wasn't paying attention to Pinterest. It's not one of my stocks. I didn't notice it. But I'll tell you what, that's definitely a tell yesterday that Facebook mix isn't going down. Facebook says that they're not going to get as many users, and Pinterest is doing the same exact thing. All right, where are we here? T-Mobile. By the way, T-Mobile's back up about $1. Twilio's down 11. I don't know what the numbers were supposed to be, but when we come back, and we're going to come back in just about a minute, I'm going to talk about my stock picks for the week.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. Investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and we're having some fun here watching some earnings going on right now. And it's actually kind of neat because we're watching some of the companies make money, some of them not make money, and we're realizing that the stock market, once again, doesn't react the way we expect it to react on when certain stocks go up and certain stocks go down. So I want to talk about real quick, I want to talk about, you know what, we got Apple up. I want to talk about Apple real quick because Apple happens to be one of my favorite stocks right now. I actually believe that Apple is going to be an awesome play as time goes by. You can actually see if we take a look at this chart, we can actually see that today, in the 1 month chart is it's pretty level. It didn't move much. So basically, in the 1 month chart, we can see that it didn't move much. Now, it moved a little bit between 140 and 149, and it's stuck in that range, which to me makes that beautiful. If we can get that to go down below 142, would be a great play. However, I actually think it's going to bust through. I think it's going to bust through 150, and it's going to bust through 150 pretty fast. So if we can get a down day, they always say buy on the dip on this stock. I think you're going to do really, really well if you buy on the dip on this stock. Hey, you know what? I need to talk about JNUG. What an interesting play JNUG turns out to be all the time. JNUG is one of those. It's a fund, and it's a gold fund. For you guys who don't know this is a fund that the guys in the school we've been playing it for a while. And I gotta be honest with you, most of the time we get it wrong. And interestingly enough, I believe in this range, it's actually at a good range. If we could get it down again right around 70, I would buy it up to 80 again and get out of it. So today it did hit that 80. It was up for a while. And it's funny because this week I sold some covered calls on it. So of course I sold the covered calls at 75. I don't lose money, but I won't make as much money as I hoped to make because I did that. Anyway, all right. So let's take a look at some other of my favorite stocks. AAL. And I looked at this today as AAL. What a great stock this is going to be. AAL is going to be such a great stock. So this is American Airlines, and I'm telling you right now, the world's going to open up, and it's going to absolutely play out to be a great play. Play this. Absolutely play this. CCL is another one. This is also the returning to the normal world stocks. CCL is going to be another great play, and once again, if we take a look at the CCL chart, you can actually see that let's take a look at the 3 month chart for a second. If we can do that, can we do that? If we take a look at the 3 month chart, you can actually see that in 3 months we had some peaks into 30 over the last little while, and it's right now at 22. But if you look at the 5-year chart, I don't know if we can see a 5-year chart here, but if we look at the 5-year chart, we can actually see Wow, look at this. This thing was in the 50s. So there's no doubt in my mind it's heading back to 40. That's easy. So if we play this out into February or March when this COVID nonsense goes away, we're gonna have some really good play here. So that's why I like this. And this also goes along with, as we talked about, RCL. RCL was also a good one, and I like that as well. AstraZeneca, we still don't have. I'm sorry. You know what happened? AstraZeneca's earnings announcement was actually this morning, and that's why I didn't have it. That's why I didn't have it up. But that's fine. And they actually pretty much leveled it off. They didn't do much, and the stock also didn't do much as well. All right. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this show. We plan to do this every day, but I must tell you right now that from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Yeah, I kind of figured I got to put some of that legal stuff in there. So I want to thank you for watching Money Chat Now, and we look forward to your continued support. Please like and share this video, and tune in tomorrow. And that's it. I'm out of here. Take care, guys.